Yo, what's up? My name is Fizz, and welcome back to, the silliest podcast you will ever hear. So pretty much today, what we're gonna be talking about is Splatoon 3, and how I have a really big, hyperfixation, I guess, on it, because I've been playing it for about a year and a half straight, and I almost have 400 plus hours on it. So, I've played it a little bit, and so why not talk about it? So I have a little list of the stuff that I'm going to be going over. Pretty much what it's going to be is my weapon mains, my favorite idols from each 3 of the games, favorite salmon run rotation, and then the high score that I got on the latest big run. And then the team that I was on for this last Splatfest and just how that went, because I have a few things to say about it. So up first we have my weapon mains. I usually play recently with either the Squiffer or the Ink Brush, which those are like my 2 favorite weapons. Then after that, I mainly, like, besides the other weapons, it would have to be the Z plus F Splat Charger, and then the Dapple Dualies and Nautilus. Those are probably like my other 3 weapons that I use on a daily. And I have 4 stars on all of those, so I'd say I'm pretty good with the weapons. But out of all of them, I definitely would have to say that the Ink Rush is my favorite. Like, favorite, because you can just be a fucking caveman with it. You can just swing that motherfucker around, and then, especially in Clam Blitz, I love using the the Ink Brush in Clam Blitz, because, you can just run around, especially if you have high run speed, and collect all the clams, and then just skedaddle on out of there. It's really fun, and this one game, I got like 26 fucking splats, dude. It was insane. I haven't used the Nautilus as much recently. I've mainly, been using the Squiffer, the Chargers, well, just Chargers in general, and the Ink Brush. But it is, like, one of my top weapons, definitely. I mainly got into it, like, playing with that weapon because of, a very popular Splatoon YouTuber you might know, Jmoji. He's very funny, and also mains the Nautilus, and I was like, that weapon looks cool. I want to give it a go. And then here we are at 4 stars later. So, it's become kind of one of my favorite weapons, because it's just a good weapon to use, and I really like its kit. I mean, its kit is okay, but if you know how to use the kit, it's amazing. Alright, on to, like, the favorite idols and everything. I'm gonna go through each of the 3 games and give you reasoning on why that idol is my favorite, give you a little bit of background and stuff like that. So, for the first game between the Squid Sisters, Callie and Marie, I probably would have to go with Callie, just because I really like her character design, I like her color palette, and just overall, I think she's probably my favorite out of the 2, just because of how, like, in the second game, she's literally a boss, I believe, like the final boss, and that's really cool, because considering in the first game, you were just chilling with her, and then, boom, gotta kick her ass in the second game. So, overall, I just think her character arc and just her in general is really cool, and definitely prefer her over Marie. I mean, don't get me wrong, Marie is badass, like, but also, just love Callie. She's amazing. So then moving on to Splatoon 2 with Pearl and Marina. I don't really have much of an opinion on either of them. They just kind of, they're cool characters, don't get me wrong. They're amazing, especially Pearl in Octo Expansion. Like, Jesus Christ. I believe her thing is an Octo Expansion. I don't know, because never played it, but whatever. But definitely, if I had to choose between Pearl and Marina, I'd have to go with Marina, just because, again, color palette, design, and just all sorts of other stuff. Like, but out of the two of them, definitely Marina for Splatoon 2. Because just all sorts of reasons, you know, as I mentioned, the color palette, the design, and overall, I just love her relationship with Pearl. Those two are definitely smooch. But I like how, like, almost the entirety of the fandom has just agreed that Pearl and Marina definitely are girlfriends. Because they kind of fruity. Like, they're kind of fruity, man. Anyways, so then moving on to Splatoon 3, our recent ones with Deep Cut. So, out of all three of the idols from Deep Cut, if I had to, like, rank them on a tier list, I would probably put... Let's see. I would probably have to put Shiver on top, then Fry, then Big Man, because Big Man's he just kind of chills. Like, I mean, yeah, he got his own song with the Squid Sisters, but also, he's just kind of there. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a cool character, but his boss fight kind of sucked. And he's just, like, Big Man's silly. He's a silly little guy. Well, not little, but you know what I mean. But I don't know. He's just not my favorite. He's just really not. But out of Shiver and Fry, I'd probably have to put Shiver on top of Fry. Just because I really like the fact that she has a shark. Because, you know, love sharks. But I just have to put her a rank above Fry. So that just because I really like her character design. Her background is really cool as well. I could say the same thing about Fry too, but overall I like Shiver a lot more. And just her character design, cool. Her background, cool. She's cool. Love Fry, but also Shiver. So, moving on to Salmon Run. I have a love-hate relationship with Salmon Run. Like, don't get me wrong, if I'm being sick and tired of getting my ass kicked in ranked, or just don't want to play Turf War, I'll hop on to some Salmon Run. But also, I could get the most asinine fucking teammates for randoms. It makes me literally so mad because I'll be doing great and then I'll look at my teammates and they're on the other side of the map where literally they're like crack babies. Like, they suck. I'm sorry, but most, like, and don't get me wrong, I can suck ass sometimes. Yeah, I'm not even gonna deny that. I suck ass sometimes. But also, come on, guys. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? This is not okay. Like, one time, I was playing a game of Salmon Run, you know, trying to get a high score. And I was pressing the this way button to, you know, because there was a fuck ton of golden eggs where I was at. And I was like, yo, dog, get your asses over here. Because we need to get these motherfuckers. And they go to the other side of the map. Like, what? What are you doing? like, it's just makes me so mad when people, just in general, don't listen to the this way button. Like, that's the whole purpose of it being there, is to communicate, because there's not very good communication in this game. So when you purposely ignore the this way button, it pisses me off. But my favorite map, like, out of all the ones that we have so far, would probably have to be either the Jammin' Slammin's Junction, because Jammin' Salmon Junction, that. But also it kind of sucks at the same time. I mean, all the Salmon Run maps kind of suck, especially Spawning Grounds. I hate Spawning Grounds. Spawning Grounds can go die. But also, the Salmonid Smoke Yard is kind of cool. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, brain no work apparently. But Salmon Run, yes. Salmon Run can either suck doo-doo balls or are really good. Speaking of it being good, last big run, I got, I think, 139 golden eggs for, like, my high score. And I was like, oh my goodness. Because I got it with randoms as well, so I was, like, really fucking surprised. Because, you know, most randoms suck. And I think that's something that everybody can agree on because of the lack of communication in the game. That playing with random people that you don't have, like, some sort of call with, like either on Discord, whatever you use, they can suck because there's no communication there at all. But anyways, before I continue ranting about Salmon Run for the next 20 minutes, I'm gonna move on to the Splatfest, the last Splatfest. This last Splatfest was fucking AIDS. Like, oh my god. People cannot calm down, apparently. So, I was really torn between choosing Team Fry and Team Shiver, but ultimately ended up on Team Shiver because, you know, she has a shark, and I really like sharks. So obviously, I'm gonna pick the cool blue hair and pronouns girl who has a shark. So, that was, and oh my god. I got a couple of my friends to join Team Shiver as well, so shout out to you dogs. But I got to, like, I believe Ruler +6 this last Splatfest. But I saw someone on Team Shiver with Ruler +27, and I was like, my god, do you not have a life? Like, it takes 999 XP back past Ruler to get to another plus. Do you not have a life? Like, Jesus Christ, I knew you wanted Fry to win, but my god. Like, put the thing down, please. But yeah, this last Splatfest was crazy. Because honestly, I thought Team Fry was gonna win. Because of how many times I got my ass kicked by Team Fry. Like, one time, like one game, I lost with them getting, I think it was like 82% of the map. And we had like 7% of the map. Because there was a lot of like spots that weren't filled on their side. Because they went straight for us. And we were like, what the hell? And so we got our asses kicked. Because they had an eliter, I think it was on Wahoo World. So they had an eliter on that little spot where, like, the 3 middle towers are, like, when you jump over. And that spot right there. You know, people, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But they had one right there. And then they had a golden arrow spray. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And those two combined. And then I don't remember what the other 2 weapons were. But those 2, I was like, Jesus Christ. But, yeah. I got my ass handed to me that game. It was scary. But regarding just the Splatfest in general, I think that I did a pretty good job, but also, Twitter. That's all I gotta say about that. Just Twitter. You know, Twitter being Twitter, as it is. There were a few cases, like, because I saw the tweets on TikTok, because I don't really use fucking Twitter, but I saw the tweets on TikTok, and it was like, people who had broken their Switches because they were so mad that Shiver had won again. Like, yeah, if I was on either Team Fry or Team Big Man, I would have been like, damn, Shiver won again for like the 6th time in a row. I'd be kind of mad. But also, that's like a $300 device you're now gonna have to replace over a Squid Game that's set in the future because humans fucking died. Like, what? I just don't get it. Like, I get it. I'd be pissed off too. But also, breaking my Switch? I saw someone who had snapped it in half. Like, that takes a lot of fucking muscle, dude. Like, how the hell? Like, props for real.
With his big head.
For real. Like, props to you for being able to break it in half, but also, oh my god, you broke it in half over a freaking blue-haired and pronounced squid winning a dumb game. Like, Jesus Christ. But, like, oh my god, are you okay? Does someone need to check in on you? But that's pretty much all I gotta say about this. Also, I cannot wait for fucking what's the DLC that's coming out? What's the new DLC? Yeah. Side Order. I cannot wait to be able to play Side Order. It looks so fucking cool. Like, oh my god, it looks hella cool. Just watching the trailer of it, the hollow, like, bonefish, what? Like, there's not been a single case of it, like, actual fish, besides, like, the salmonids, but these look completely different. So I'm really curious on, like, what they're gonna be. Also, Dead Fish is back. I just gotta say that. Dead Fish is back. But overall, I really am excited for Side Order because my mom said she would get it, so it was like, hooray! You know? But that's pretty much all I gotta say about Splatoon 3 that I can say. That's not going to take like 9 years. You know? But anyways, that's all for today, folks. And remember, always stay silly and don't give two shits about what others gotta say.